How much free value should you give in your school community? This is actually a subscriber question that I'm going to answer today. And it's not just when it comes to a school community, it's in general, in your business. How much free value should you give? And at one point, is it too much? At one point, are you hurting yourself? Or is it actually moving people from free to paid content in general? Is it really true that the more free value you give, the more it becomes a reality that they will actually pay you at some point? So the more you offer for free, the more they will be hooked and become paid members or paid customers at some point. Is this really true? And this is what I'm going to answer in today's video. And first things first, my name is Lydia Wilmsen. I'm a mindset and business coach, and here on the channel I talk about all things school community growth in general, business growth, and of course the most important piece, the mindset of an entrepreneur. What is necessary? What is a good mindset for an entrepreneur to have? And we are actually closing today's video after I give you like 3 or 4 pointers around, should you give free value and how much free value should you give? And I will end this with reflection questions for you from a mindset perspective, why you might even have this question of how much free value should I give? Okay. So if you like the video, if you like the channel, I would highly appreciate if you can subscribe to the channel, if you can leave a like, a thumbs up, a comment, and yeah, if you have any questions, put them into the comments as well, and I might record a video for you. And one important announcement, join Leadership Skool for free and join the premium tier right now for $5 before it goes up to $7 or $9 when you're watching this, probably 24 hours. When you're on the premium tier, you can advertise your own school community or any freebie, anything in your business on the community wall daily. And there are 2 resources coming out next week that you want to get your hands on. So make sure to join now because the price is going up in 24 hours. So it's actually one of the worst advice I hear over and over again. This like, give more free value, give more value, give it for free. And at some point they will pay you because they know you or whatever. And this is bullshit. It's not true. It's not a funnel that you give a lot of free value and at some point they become paid members. If they become paid members in your school community or they become your clients, it has nothing to do with how much free value you gave before and you basically crossed a certain threshold and then, they will be inclined to pay. No, if they become paid members or paid clients of yours, it has only to do with your sales skills, of course, and if you have something that they really want and need, and if you can articulate what you have to offer so that they feel seen, heard, and understood, and they feel like this, what you offer, is actually something that will help them. That is what basically makes them into paid or into paying customers, and not because they got like 2 years of free content from you. If the content is not something that deeply resonates or where they get a huge transformation from, or like there are certain points that will make them go yes, but if that is not the case, you can deliver free value forever and they will not become paid clients. So it is not necessarily connected. Yes, you can give them a teaser, you can give them a trial, a feeling for how it is to work with you, but that's it. Once they know that you are the person or not, then it becomes like the other things will be more important. Okay, but let's go through this piece for piece, step for step. So the first point I want to make, and please watch the whole video because I come back to certain points and give you more pieces of the puzzle, and it makes sense to watch the whole thing. So the first thing I want to mention is that basically free doesn't create commitment. So if you give a lot of free value, it doesn't necessarily mean that they will be committed. They will just have a gigantic overload of information. And there are so many people who have 100 or hundreds of freebies already downloaded to their computer. They are saturated with information. And now in the age of AI, you can get information at a hyper speed, at a click of with your thumb, and that's it. So information is not necessarily what people crave or what they need more of. And the thing is, with everything for free, it doesn't necessarily create big commitment. So people download one freebie after the other. They even read it perhaps. They scroll through it, but they will not implement. So this idea of, oh, I just give them more value, doesn't help you. It doesn't create satisfied customers or satisfied people who say like, now I want to pay you, because they have gotten nothing out of it. They have a lot more information that after 5 minutes they've already forgotten. And so they have you, they have forgotten your information and you. So they need something else. They need a hook or something where they are like, okay, I want more and I want to put my money there. Because the more skin in the game you have, the more or the higher the chances that you will actually do the work. So either you put in time, so you have to have, you have to use time to go through it and actually be incentivized to use time, or you put money there, to put skin into the game. You have to have something that kind of hurts you, or not hurts you, but that you can feel. And if you pay with your earned money, makes you more inclined to actually do the work. So lots of free value is not bringing you the customer, and it doesn't make them go like, oh wow, now I've gotten like 10 pages or 10 freebies or 10 things I can download. It's not what makes them more inclined to pay you at some point. No, what makes them inclined to pay you is that they have gotten a transformation or a result out of what you have offered them. And this you can deliver with one free piece of advice or with one free piece of value. You don't need a lot. It could be literally one thing where they are, wow, this has helped me, this has worked, now I want more, give me more, I want to pay for that. You don't have to give them everything for free, because let me get to the second point, which is giving everything for free is literally and honestly not sustainable. Yes, if you have a charity, we are speaking about something else, but you have a business, you have to bring in money, you have to buy food for your kids, you have to buy food for yourself. So why do you want to give everything for free and think at some point they will pay you? Because, if they get everything for free and perhaps you're so good in what you're delivering that, yes, they are implementing with the free value that you're giving them, they have everything for free. Why should they all of a sudden pay you? And this is not sustainable. You cannot pay your bills, and you will be highly resentful at some point, because at some point there needs to be an energetic exchange. There needs to be something coming back to you, and it cannot just be gratitude. And at some point, for a lot of free value, there is even not a lot of gratitude left, because people start expecting that. And that's point number 3. You're teaching them to expect free stuff and not want to pay for anything. So you're actually making them into the people that want more and more and more free stuff. We could go into society things now, but let's leave this out there. Let's make this not political. People who expect everything for free, they will literally get angry when at some point you start charging for something. So the more free stuff you keep giving them, the more they will expect it, and the less they will want to pay for it, and they will be angry, and you will be angry as well at some point, because you will be resentful. You will not have money to pay for your food, and you feel deeply not seen, not valued for what you give, because people will stop being highly grateful for all the free stuff at some point, because people actually also want to value something with their money. It is a form of gratitude as well to say like, hey, I want to pay you. This is why people love to tip. It is nice sometimes to be like, hey, I loved what you offered me, here you go. And if you don't give them the opportunity to tip you through paying for something, it can also really feel bad at some point for the other side. It will be like, I get all of this for free, I feel bad now. So really, you have to understand it is not sustainable for your business to give everything for free and lots of free value. It is also not nice for the people. They will start expecting that. And you have basically created lots of people who run after free stuff, perhaps not even implement it, and you're left with nothing, and you're actually burning out. And I want to make a 4th point, which is that too much free value at some point can get very overwhelming. There was a school community that ran for the school games, and I actually didn't join because they had too many bonuses, like a lot of them, 20, 30, whatever. And just looking at that, it was like, there's another one, and you get this, and you get this. And I'm like, no, I want this. I also don't like to go into shops where I have so much things where I can't decide what I want to pay. I literally like to go to more expensive shops, not always, not because I necessarily want to spend more money, but it's nice and orderly, and I see what I get, and this piece, and it's not so much, so it's easier for me to decide. So you have to understand this whole mentality. I give them more and another bonus and this for free and this for free. There are many people who can't cope with that, who don't necessarily like that, like me, and they literally opt out of that opportunity then. They literally say, I rather not join because it's overwhelming. So if you have a classroom and if you have a community or any other thing and it's full of stuff, all for free, and like this and that and this and that, and you go there and you're like, I have no idea where to start. I have no idea what is important as next step. I'm overwhelmed. They will even less likely become your customers, because what they got through your free value and lots of value was overwhelm. Not transformation, but overwhelm. And this is it. It's so important to give them a tiny piece of transformation, or a tiny piece that they can literally do, they can actually implement, and then move the rest into a paid container so that they have skin in the game. This is the biggest piece of all. And I can tell you, my highest paying clients, because I come from the high ticket world, those that pay tens of thousands to work with me, they were the most amazing clients actually. They took nothing for granted. They were highly respectful. They asked me like if they wanted to change a call last minute or whatever. They were very grateful for the time, and they behaved very respectfully. And then I sometimes, or just a few times, I had those freebie runners who booked something for, I don't know, $7, and they ran after me and were like, this hasn't been delivered yet. Where is it? Where's the next one? I was like, my God, there is someone who paid 18,000. There is someone who paid $7, the difference. So you have to understand, with this free mentality, more free, you attract a different crowd. You attract people who want free stuff. So you have to start teaching them at some point, here's the transformation, and the next step is the paid version, or is the paid step. And the ones that are willing to pay, they are the ones that are actually going to do the work. Not always, of course, I'm generalizing here, but for the sake of the video, of course. So let me summarize the 4 points for you quickly, just as a in-between step before we move into like, how would it be good? Like, what is the amount of free value that you want to give your people? So the first step was basically free stuff doesn't create commitment. The second point was free isn't sustainable. You're going to burn out. You're going to be resentful. It's not working. And number 3 is you teach people literally what to expect. So if you give them more and more and more free stuff, they will expect more and more free stuff. But they will not invest in whatever you have to offer because they get free stuff and they don't necessarily implement. So for them, it's like, not interesting. And then they go to another place and they pay those people 5,000 euros. This happened very early on in my coaching career. Oh my God. I remember I had one woman come to me and be like, oh, free, like getting to know me session. I gave her so many breakthroughs, so much coaching in this one call. And then she told me, oh, I don't have money to invest. I can't do this right now, perhaps later. And then I learned that literally 3 days later, she invested 5,000 from some kind of emergency fund or from some savings into another coach. And I was like, okay, I got the message. Okay, but number 3 was you teach them to expect free value from you, free coaching, and they go spend their money that they have someplace else. And that's such a big thing, by the way. And then number 4 was that lots of free stuff is just overwhelming, and you don't want to create overwhelm for them. You want to give them an easy way, a simple way how to achieve the next step. And let me get now into like what would be a good solution for you, like how much free value should you give? I basically started explaining it a little bit with this journey, the customer journey. You know, someone gets to know you, they don't really know who you are, they want to get a little bit of a feeling for you. For that, a bit of free stuff is good. So for example, I have a free community, I don't have a paid community, but if you have a paid community, you could give them a free a free trial, 7 days, you know, where they can join, get a feel for you, get a feel for the community, for what they get in there, and then they can make their decision. Or if you have a free community as I have, you know, yes, give them simple steps to do, to get a feel for you, to get a community feeling of as well, a feeling for like of the vibe. And this is when we speak about community, very often the case, a freemium community or a free community, the free version or the free layer, the free value that you give is that you give them a community. So it's all about building a great community, a place where people want to hang out, a place where people want to be. And you can watch the video about that, how to create engagement in your community, because this is very important, that you have a community that feels alive, and people will join for that. They will join for the community feeling, and they will join for the free feeling that they give from you of being understood, of being heard, of being seen. So the free layer could, for example, be something around, or even a freebie where you give them the experience of understanding them. So if you speak about burnout, speak about all the things they are going through, that they are experiencing, so that they get one moment after the other of like, oh my God, this person gets me. Finally, I feel seen. Finally, I feel understood. So this point of clarity for them, what they are going through, is already massive value, but that is enough. So that they get a feel for you, they get a feel for the community vibe, they get a feel for, yes, I feel understood and heard here. You know, this is my place. So this is basically enough. Or if you have a freebie, or if you have a resource for them, give them one achievement, one step that they can go through right now on the free level, on the free tier. And some people have paid communities, but they offer a lot of free stuff, for example, on their YouTube channel or on their Instagram. They have perhaps a lot of reels where they teach, you know, like around coaching, where they teach people what they are going through, what is happening with them, and then they send them to a community which is paid, you know? So if you have that, again, the free stuff is not about this solution and this solution and it's about helping them understand what their issue is, what they are going through, what the problem is. And yes, bits and pieces of advice, but you know, yes, of course that, but then you lead them to the community, and that one is paid. And if you don't have a lot of traffic coming from outside, then have an entry level, a free level in your community, and create the community feeling for them. Give them a simple step that they can achieve early on, not after 4 months, but literally in the first week, in the first days of joining the community. So really become very clear about your avatar. What do they want? Why are they there? Why are they joining the community? What is their pain? What is their desire? And then find the one next step that they can do to feel better, or to feel whatever, get something set up, something about stress levels in their bodies, you know, again, you know, depending on what your niche is and what your offer is. But again, clarification and clarity can be very, very important here. It can be literally not that you give them all the stress release techniques and all of that you might have in your premium tier or in your paid offers, but understanding what they are going through in their bodies. And if they want to change it, if they want this to work with you on the solution, then they move into the paid offer. So free is really about, depending on where you are, you know, where you bring your traffic from in, it's understanding your avatar, understanding what they are struggling with, give them the first step, the first breakthrough, the first mini implementation piece, what they really do, where they are, oh wow, that worked. Oh wow, that helped me. But then what is the next step? Where they then, after that step, are like, oh, what do I want to, now comes the next thing. So for example, someone who teaches about YouTube growth, Yeah, you can help them set up the channel. But then how do I stay consistent? What do I talk about? How can I make like offers on my channel and all of that? This is of course the next step and the next question that I will ask. But this will be in the paid community, for example. And depending on what you have, if you need support with that, this is what the VIP layer is for in my community, that we can really see of what is your offer, what is your issue, what are you wanting to solve, and I can help you figure out what is the next step for them. What is really what they are needing right now, what they are wanting and needing, what is the free value that you can give them first, and then move them into the next paid resource, into the next paid tier, into a coaching cohort or whatever. But understand, you don't give everything for free. You give the first piece for free, and then you have to have this very clear, you have the journey very clearly mapped out. And then the next one is that they literally want, after they have finished the first implementation piece or the first resource or the first free thingy that they got. After that, it's like, oh, now I'm here. I did the first step. I'm already invested with my time. I've already spent time and energy on that. But now I have the next issue. And that is what you then charge for. Because otherwise, point number 2, you will become resentful if you give everything for free and not get anything back. And they might not be super invested at some point if everything is for free. It just doesn't work that way. So yeah, that is something for you to ponder. And now I want to leave you with a few coaching questions, or not coaching questions, reflection questions. If the issue for you is, oh my God, how much should I give for free? And I should give so much for free. And I'm struggling with that. And I want to just ask you basically, are you afraid of charging? If you have this question, I have to give so much for free, I have to give more for free. What my question would be, if I was coaching you one-to-one, I would ask you, why are you not charging? What is the issue? Like, I have no issue charging for stuff. I try out things. This is working, this is not working. I have fun charging. Like, it's nice, it's nice to do that. It's fun. But I also like to go shopping and buy things. I don't expect everything for free. I go to a supermarket and buy things, and it's nice to pay for them with my own earned money. So I don't have any issues with that. But if you're struggling with this whole, I need to give more for free and more and more and more, I would ask you, are you afraid of charging? And why are you afraid of charging? That would be my first question. And my next question would be, do you feel not worthy of being paid for your services? Is there something in you, or there is something that wants to give more, so at some point it will be safe to ask for something in return. Usually those people who struggle with charging or with giving too much value, they come from a place of being people pleasers. I have certainly been there. And the person who asked this question here said also something about them, that they grew up in a way of being very polite always and being very friendly and accommodating, basically. I'm paraphrasing. And yes, this can be the case, that you feel asking for something is not good. You always have to give. Giving is better than receiving. And that is a big mindset issue. If you come from a place, I have to give more than I receive, you will always struggle with this topic. But you have to understand that giving and receiving are two things or two sides of the same coin. Like, if no one ever wants to be on the receiving end, there is no one you can give to. You have to understand that they are equal. We have been brainwashed by religion that giving is better than receiving, but it's bullshit. It's the same. It's neutral. It's beautiful if you gift someone something to their birthday and they say actually yes, and they are grateful for it. How horrible would it be if you bring someone a gift, you want to give something, and they say like, no, sorry, I don't want it. And they don't want to receive it. So you have to understand, giving is not better than receiving. If there is no one to receive, giving will be horrible because no one wants it and you feel like, ugh, ick, So understand it's the same, and this has to really be embodied in you. It has to be integrated of giving and receiving are two sides of the same coin. The same with Sun is going up in the morning and sun is going down in the morning. Sun is going down in the morning. Breathing in, breathing out, inhaling, exhaling. It's nothing is none of those is better. They are two sides of the same coin. So ask yourself, are you afraid, or do you feel not worthy of receiving? Do you feel you have to give more and more and more? Usually those people who feel they have to give more and more and more, it's almost like convincing the other person that now, now they have gotten enough, so now they can pay. They are not really convinced about their offer. They feel, oh, I have to give more, so that then it's good enough so that now I can receive money back. So those would be some questions for you to really think about. Are you afraid of charging? And why are you afraid of charging? What do you think will happen? Do you think people will not like you anymore? And that is an internal thing that has nothing to do with you charging your members or your clients, your potential clients. This is on you to solve. And it usually has to do with your childhood and with your upbringing. And the other thing that I just mentioned, giving more and more and more, coming from a people-pleasing side of you. And this is also something that you will have to work on if you want to really make sales and charging and giving value, but also receiving something back joyful in your community and in your business. Okay, I could of course keep on talking about this topic for ages, but we keep it at this level for now. And I would say, bring me your questions. I love to answer them. Join Leadership Skool. I didn't mention this in the beginning. I think we have a special offer at the moment, the next 48 hours. I think now when you watch this, it's 24 hours to go. The price for the premium tier is still at $5 before it goes to $7 or even $9. So make sure to join before that for some really for some really amazing resources that are coming out next week. So that's it from me today. Thank you for subscribing, for watching, for giving me a thumbs up and liking and commenting. And until the next video. Bye.